Alright, welcome back. We're about to embark on another adventure. And this time it's just under 2 hours drive one way. And it's pretty flat. We're going straight west, so really the only turns we have, I'm trying to back up to my trailer right now. So the only turns that we have is to get from here to the highway. And then it's a straight shot all the way across US Route 30 that runs east and west. And we're going almost to Fort Wayne, just this side of Fort Wayne. So, like it says, it's an hour and 54 minutes, I think, give or take. But anyways, it's kind of nice not to have a whole bunch of turns and small roads and curvy roads and all that. You know, we can get out and set the cruise control and just drive, basically. But downfall is it's a little windy, and the winds, of course, we're going to be heading into the wind on the way there. On the way back, it won't be as bad, but that'll be okay too, because at least on the way back or on the way there, you know, we have an empty trailer, so we're not having to worry about extra weight and whatnot from there. It says it's 36 degrees outside. So I don't know about you, but this time of year kind of makes me depressed. Like, I don't know, who wants to really go outside? This last week it's been in the 20s and it's been cold, and there's a little bit of snow on the ground, nothing significant. We haven't had but, you know, a ground covering since winter started. But it really makes a person not want to go outside and be in this weather. I know me personally, I don't like anything about it. I'd rather it be 70 and above, and I can be out here in shorts and doing what I got to do, and it just works better for me. But let me know what you think. What do you like? What kind of weather do you like? Do you like this cold weather and the snow and all of that, or do you like it sunny and 75? You already know my answer to that question. I'm gonna have a partner with me today, the best partner a person could have. My wife is riding along, so it's gonna be a great day just because I get to spend the day with her. That's always a great day. So I got the trailer hooked up. I aired the tires up just to be sure earlier today. Grab a few things to put in here, and then we're ready to go. So I'll try to do a little bit of a video of us driving, but honestly, it's pretty dull. It's pretty flat, and there's not a whole lot going on between here and there as far as scenery goes, or we're not going to go through any big cities or nothing. And it's pretty much a straight shot through the country. So with that said, I already asked the gentleman where we're getting this car and stuff from, and he said we can video. So depending on the situation, I'm going to try to do a little bit of videoing while we're there. So we'll see how that goes when we get there. As you know from watching my videos, I do this by myself. So like loading parts and loading the car, etc., is all, you know, I have to do all that myself, which I don't mind, but it's just part of what it is. So trying to do all that and run a camera can be a little tricky at times. I might be able to get my wife to run the camera for me. It just depends on what she wants to do. I don't expect her to. I don't expect her to even get out of the truck if she doesn't want to, because it's cold. If it was warmer out, then she most definitely would, but being that it's cold, I'm not gonna beg her, make her go out in this cold weather. She can sit in the truck and stay warm. So with that said, we get the trailer hooked up, grab a few tools, and we'll be hitting the road soon. We'll catch you in a little bit. All right, we're about a mile from crossing over to Indiana. Cool part about this side of Ohio is there's windmills galore. You can't see them in the video because they're off to our right. There's hundreds and hundreds of them things out here just spinning away. It's very windy today. The truck's been all over the road because of the wind. But other than that, it's been pretty uneventful. About, I'd say 20 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes away. And we'll have to wait a little bit for the gentleman to meet us there, because he's at work currently. So it's flat out here, not many hills, at least any significant hills. And it's like this all the way across to Indiana if you were to continue going. over here in a few minutes. My wife's laughing at me. She thinks I'm crazy. With that, we're in Indiana, and with that, we also slow down to a speed limit of 60 mile an hour instead of 70. So we'll slow down a little bit and continue on. All right, so we're loaded up, getting ready to head back to the house. A gentleman named Derek, I much appreciate the heads up on this. You reaching out to us and the hospitality while we was here. Thanks again. What'd we get? I don't know. A bed full of parts, an engine, some wheels, and then the Turbo Z. We're not going to go over it in details because we're trying to get back home. Still have 2 hours to head, and we're trying to get out of this man's driveway. So here's a quick walk around. I'll do more on the car in the morning when once we get home. So keep watching. All right, good morning. It's the next day after our trip to Indiana. Got home late last night. Yeah, I won't go into all the details, but you know, it is what it is. It was after 9 o'clock by the time we returned. So we just backed the trailer into the driveway and locked the truck up and called it a day. So let's go over what we got. So the car, it's a 1986 Turbo Z Daytona. And the strange thing about the car that I saw last night was it does not show it has or has had the badges for the CS. But it has this lower side skirt. My understanding on these through the years has always been if it has the side skirts, then it makes it a CS. That was part of the CS package. Now, those could have been added, but not likely. And the reason I question all of this is because there's no front air dam. And there's also no, that side skirt is not on the passenger side. Or sorry, on the driver's side. It's only on the passenger side. So there's no, that side skirt is not here. Is this a CS car? I don't know. It's to me it's not, because it could be not. It could have been repainted at one time and the badge is removed, but I don't know why somebody would do that. So I'm gonna have to do some research and see if I can figure that out. So the car overall, I think it's a hi mama cat. She's got to make her presence known. Get this door open. There's no door handle, so you got to reach in and maneuver the lever by your hand here. So this took us longer to get it all loaded up and ready to go than I had originally expected, because the whole back's full of parts. And the truck bed is full of parts, and all that stuff come with it. Some of the stuff belongs to this car. Like, I know there's a black door panel that obviously belongs to this door. And then, some miscellaneous whatnot here and there. But there's an extra set of T-tops. I see, looks like the rear bumper covers here. So that's good. That belongs to this car. But, Mama Cat, sometimes you're kind of a pain. Here's the thing with this car here, too, though. What do we do with it? It's got some rust right back in here, but that's fixable if a person really wants one. What I noticed last night, once it was on the trailer, that Mama Cat, go baby. Somebody's already, I don't know, it looks like they may have already patched up in here, and can't really tell if that's just coming apart or rust, or if that's from a poor patch job. It's really difficult to tell. But the floors, believe it or not, are not that bad. Now, there's a section right in here where they all go, right where the parking brake cable comes through. But from initial search, looking at it, it doesn't look terrible. I've definitely seen worse. I've seen them to where there was 0 force left and 0 frame rail left. Now there's other little things like the bumper brackets, they're both broke, but those are replaceable. My other question was on this part of the car, why is this body filler in here? Reach it on the inside, it feels solid. It's still got the original lip and everything else. So, and on this side, the liner's still in there, the splash shield, so it's hard to tell. But it looks like it's kind of come apart at the same place. But the floor on this side's actually better than the driver's side. So I guess, what do we do with this one? Do we keep it, put it together? Do we sell it, or we part it? I know I'm like everybody else. I do like to try to save them if I can. This was staying up yesterday. Now it's not. There it goes. All right. All these extra parts I'd have to go through and sort out. Well, there's another door panel. So maybe it did come with a spare door panel. Anyway, I have to go through all these extra parts and figure out what fits this car, what does not, and try to make it a complete car. Obviously, the rear bumper covers here. I don't know about the actual bumper. There is an 84 steering wheel. Oh, nope, that's not. It's a Grant. It's an aftermarket, but it looks like an 84 steering wheel. Darn it, I was hoping it was an 84 steering wheel. Oh well, is what it is. Couldn't get the hood up. The hood cable's broke. He was showing me we can reach up in there and try to get it up, but there's no need. There's no engine, no transmission, so there's really nothing to see there. But it came with all these parts, and the truck bed's full. There's boxes. There's a box. There's a tote up in there. You can see the blue one. There's another one in front of it, and there's boxes over here. A couple more boxes under here. I'm not even sure what else here. We kind of glanced at it real quick as we was loading it. He didn't even know what all he had. He's like, just whatever goes to one of these cars goes with us. So we got it all. We even got an engine stand. The reason we got the engine stand was because the engine to the Daytona was on an engine stand, and he didn't have any tools to get the bolts out of there, and he's like, screw it, just take the whole thing. Super nice guy, really nice guy. Glad I got to go over there and meet him and talk to him for a while. But yeah, I'm gonna go through. I got to get this truck unloaded. It's supposed to rain like crazy tomorrow, and I don't want this and, you know, of course, all this other stuff just sitting out here in the rain. So we're going to try to get, well, we're not going to try, we are going to get the truck unloaded. The car can stay on the trailer. I don't care about that. It's been rained on before. But yeah, there's like 5 extra door panels. So I would assume there's an extra couple sets. There's a couple extra valve covers and some fuel rail in there and whatever else. I don't even know what's in that box. Ciao, Mama. So we had an issue driving back last night. I was in kind of a hurry, I guess. I don't know. Brain lapse. But I had my tonneau cover folded up like you see now. And we're running down a highway at 72, 73 mile an hour. Well, I don't push it too hard when I have a car on the trailer. And the speed limit was, 70. So anyways, something went boom, and I'm like, oh crap, what'd we lose? Well, here, I forgot to hook these 2 straps up. So this thing flipped, and it actually slid out of this corner. And I think if it wouldn't have been for that, probably, I would have lost the tonneau cover running down the road. But it's okay. It is what it is. We was at an exit ramp when it happened, so I was able to get off the highway and into a gas station and figure out what was going on. And there goes my coffee. Dagnabbit. So this door hit the trailer fender and knocked everything off. So there's an extra set of T-tops. I gotta get all this stuff off these seats before I leave this car sit for an extended period of time, because I don't want it messing them up any more than they already are. The seats didn't look terrible. The front ones, back ones are folded down, and obviously a whole pile of stuff, so who knows what's in there. The car been sitting out in the pasture for the last 2 years, and of course, as you can see, the mice quickly found the glove box and made it a home. But wow, that's like surprising that the owner's manual is as clean as it is, being in the glove box surrounded by mouse nests. That's actually like really freaking nice. I mean, it's not worth a ton of money, but it's nice that it's there and in good condition at least. So I don't know, I'm gonna have yeah, there's some rot right here, so I wonder what the rockers look like. I'm gonna have my buddy come over and let him look at it, see what he thinks. I know what he's gonna say. He's gonna say, let me fix it, and maybe we'll try to salvage this one. Any bits and pieces and parts it's missing, like small stuff, like I noticed the front reflector side marker light is missing on this side. Those are pretty easy to come up with. I've got, you know, I got the 85 still in the garage waiting to be torn down, so it's everything. I have everything to put this car back together. I have the headlight buckets, which I noticed those are in the car. You know, we have everything to put this car back on the road. If I was to put it back on the road, I wouldn't do any of the body work. It would be just the way it is. I'm not going to invest the money that it involved putting paint on it, just to lose money on the deal, because yeah, not many people are paying, you know, any decent money for these things unless it's an original low mileage ultra nice, you know, car, which, you know, they obviously deserve to bring the most money. So I don't know, we're going to look at it closer, and said we'll have my buddy come over hopefully this week and see if maybe we'll put that engine in there. He said that the engine ran when he pulled it, the clutch went out of the car, so he pulled the engine and transmission, and well, he did the head gasket and timing belt and head bolts and whatnot and got that part of the engine done. But he well, you know, life happens, and here we are. Now he's done with the car, and you know, it's in our hands now. It's in our hands to decide what happens to it. So there was 2 transmissions here too. That one I know is a 555. The other one I couldn't read the tag. It was kind of buried in the garage, and I just wanted to get it loaded. So I'll look at it closer. My guess is that it's the transmission for the car, the 525. But I'll know more here in a little bit once I get it all out. So that is the plan. Back the truck, unhook the trailer, back the truck up to the garage, and then get all this stuff out of the truck and into the garage, and see what all we got. I'll go through it a little bit more once we're in there. All right, I got the truck backed up to the garage. Let's see what all we got. I should have gloves on. It's still chilly out here. There's a spare crab wheel. And somewhere in here, if I can find it, it's a 6.5 inch, so it's a wide one. That's good. We can always use those. Those always sell. And it's just one, but you know, you take one a couple, 3-4 times, and next thing you know, you got 4. So got a head, presumably for a turbo car, yeah, and should have a T on it somewhere. Not seeing it, but I'm sure it's a turbo head. He didn't have anything non-turbo, so I don't know. The value on those varies. You gotta find somebody that needs one, and you know, it needs redone. There's some axle shafts. It's in a box, but I don't know if it is new. It is brand new. Brand new long axle for a non-turbo car, or non-equal length axle turbo car. And I'm just sitting this stuff. I don't even know if you can see me. I'm horrible at this camera thing, so I apologize if you're not seeing what I'm seeing here. I'm trying. My lighting's not the greatest just because of the way it is outside right now. Another axle. This one appears to be, it looks new too, maybe. I don't know, I have to open the box up and look at it closer. It's in the box, so most people don't put used parts in the boxes, but I've seen it before, so you never know what you'll find. Here's the water pump and alternator bracket setter for the engine. So this box has got a turbo exhaust manifold for this engine, dome light lens. Here's like the horn, some door harness for the car, I'm guessing, some miscellaneous pieces and parts, some seat trim, nuts and bolts. There's a headlight switch, just some miscellaneous pieces and parts, nothing real extravagant. Console carpet trim, rear view mirror. That doesn't fit these cars. There's a dead pedal, some other trim, kick panels, and I don't know what all. Yeah, that kick panel's not the greatest. Parking lights, another dead pedal, or the same dead pedal twice, I don't know. A bunch of kick panels and console side pieces. There's the marker lights for the front fender. There's two of them in here, and the shift knob. Just a bunch of miscellaneous interior trim pieces. We'll sort through all that. Most of it's gray, so it doesn't go to that car. So we'll sort through that. We'll figure out what's good, what we can sell, and what just basically is junk. Armrests. There were several armrests. This is the black one, driver's side, so it probably goes to the Daytona. Honestly, it's got the. So somewhere down the road, he was telling me that he got some '87 Daytona parts, and there's headlight goo all over some of this stuff. And if you don't know what the headlight goo is, we did a video on that a while back explaining what the goo is that gets in these cars on the dash parts. So anyway, that armrest had some on it, and now it's stuck to my hand and won't come off. This is the radiator for the Daytona. Needs to record, but it is here. We do have a good aluminum radiator that we already have here that can go in the car, worst case. Came with a T2 radiator intercooler. That gives us probably 15 of these. I don't even know. There's a bunch. There's a bunch here. Another box of parts. This may go to the Daytona. That is not. That's a Ford. He had a Ford too. So some of this stuff got mixed in, but he said he doesn't care. We dug through and got most of it. So here's a shifter and cables, and then this is the dash cluster bezel, dash for the radio and HVAC. That's where all that stuff mounts to. Let's get this bigger stuff out. I can't fit between the truck and the garage door there, so bear with me. Unload some side of the rear at least. Reaching easier. More boxes, more boxes, and more boxes. Boxes everywhere. There was a lot of stuff. Another box. And that's pretty much all the box stuff. From here on out, it's going to be the two transmissions and then the engine. So another trim piece. Here's a 5-blade fan. I don't really keep the fans. I don't know why. I guess it's not one of those items that goes bad that often. So this is probably one of the better totes that was there. Here's the headlight bezels for the Daytona. And this is T2 parts. So he told me he went to New Jersey, I think, and got some T2 stuff because he was going to convert this car to T2, and it just never happened. So this is the airbox lid and then 2 hoses. Those are always good. We're not going to use them on this car, so those will be for sale. A T-top mirror, driver's side. Thing you know about a T-top car, if you've never taken the mirror off of one of these, I don't know if you can see it or not. I can't. Right there. So you see where the harness has been cut. Reason a lot of these harnesses get cut on these is because when they built these cars, there's a whole bunch of extra bracing up inside the door, and they ran the wires for the T-top, the power mirror wires, down and then trapped it in with brackets. So literally the only way you can get the harness, the plug end out, is to either drill the rivets out and get the bracket out, or cut the harness. That's what most people do, is they cut the plug. You know, you can always wire it back together. So that was a poor design on Chrysler's part. Well, actually it would have been ASC, because Chrysler didn't build the T-top cars. They sent them off to be redone, to be built. Here's the bottom half of the T2 airbox. History box. Just a bunch of, there's some caliper bolts and then a broken lens, miscellaneous pieces and parts. Most of it probably end up in the scrap bin. Heater controls, some more console parts, panels, all in gray so they don't go to this car. Some of the seals at the front of the doors, rear hose, T-top, the little trim pieces. We got a bunch of these on our store, and they don't sell. So we'll sort through those, and the good ones we'll add to inventory, and the bad ones we'll toss. Throttle body. Don't know what it fits as of right now. I'll have to run the numbers. And then the purge solenoids. So, T2 parts, the airbox, etc. is the best pieces in this kit. We'll just try to get this back in here and get this out of the way. Some of it's junk. Some of it's usable, some of it's sellable. So we'll go through all of that later time. Let's get it all out of the truck today. Evaporator, condenser, one of the two. Radiator, condenser. And the evaporator is the one that goes in the dash. So, what's in this box? Again, when we was there, we opened the box, kind of took a quick glance, and moved on. Oh, it's a brake booster. I remember that, and the proportioning valve. So my assumption is, and again this is just an assumption, that this goes to that Daytona. Until we raise the hood, I won't know for sure. So you can see where a car like this can turn into a project, an expensive project, rather quickly, because you know, now you're replacing all your fuel lines, probably the gas tank, obviously the fuel pump, sending unit, and you're going to be replacing all the brake components. And it's stuff that needs done, but when it's all tore apart like this, you know, now you got to replace everything, because now you can get moisture in the lines, inside the brake lines, and dirt and debris and whatnot from it sitting. So if that is the booster to the car, and I'm just assuming it is without looking, you know, now you got to replace all of those components. So in our situation where, you know, we are a business, and to me it's better to just try to package the whole car and send it on to the next person, and then they can spend the time, you know, doing all of that. So when you look at the whole project as a whole, finishing the engine, making sure it's good, and putting it all back together, you're going to have a new clutch, possibly new axle shafts minus whatever's here. You know, if we have one that's here that we can use, then we'll use it. You know, and then everything else included, I don't know. We're going to have to figure this one out. So here's another intercooler. and nothing else. That's all that's in this box. So that box will be gone. We'll keep the intercooler and send the box on its way. And then there's a swing valve, another hood hinge, console trim, an extra cluster, and AC lines and a mirror. That's what's in this box. Nothing too superb, but that's okay. It all adds up. Almost all sellable parts. Another CV axle. Again, this looks new, but it's got the ABS tone ring, so that's from a newer car, but it will work in one of these. You'll just have the tone ring on. So it's not the end of the world. My guess is that a lot of these manufacturers are using those now because it's what's available. This tote was the heaviest one. This one weighs the most. So we have a washer fluid bottle. Again, it could be from this car, it could be a spare. I don't know. Another set of headlight trim rings, trim bezels. So that's an extra set. We got an overflow bottle. Another T-top mirror with the wires cut again. This is the passenger side. This looks like the center console harness because the door, no, it'd be a driver's door harness because the mirror switch is here. I'm not sure that's even Chrysler. Yeah, it is because there's the mirror switch. The mirror plug. And some other miscellaneous harness. This might be the console. Again, I'd have to run the number and check to verify. Cup holder storage bin, that's an extra one. Windshield wiper motor cover. Broken piece of trim. Here's a door handle. I'm assuming maybe this is the door handle we're missing. We have another one, so one of those, maybe. Worst case scenario, we can make one work. Fuse box, just they cut the wires on, so probably not worth much. Another dome light lens, AC bracket, a spare one, there's one on the engine, a Nip and Denso alternator, probably end up in the scrap bin, the T2 hose, if it's any good, we'll have to check it for clean it and check it for cracks. That's a good piece too, if it's there, if it's good. Front engine mount. Side engine mount and bracket, maybe for this car, and another turbo hose. We got a bunch. No, not this one. We got some of these in inventory already. Some of the moldings from the side would be good for this car. Another headlight switch. A coil with that's an MSD coil and stuck to this. This goes on the front part of the doors on these. I don't know why a person would keep them. They don't go bad. They'll probably end up in the scrap pile. One more good side marker. This one's broke. Shift boot. It's not torn that I see. That could be good, or it may go to this car. Again, I'll have to diagnose that once we dig into the car. A Hall effect, those always get hung up. We keep all of those. We bought some NOS ones at the trip we was on a few weeks ago, and well, that's nice to find as NOS parts. And then a shifter that somebody's cut. Somebody cut the shaft right off the darn thing, so it's probably no good. And then there's wiper arms and whatnot in here, miscellaneous pieces. Nothing too extravagant. All right, let's put this back, and I'm going to take you up in the truck. We're going to look at those two transmissions and see if they're both 555s or just Williams. We're going to find out together. Get this alternator out of the way. I'll put it back in that tote. That's part of the reason why it weighs so much. And again, I know I'm kind of rushing through this stuff. I'm just trying to get my truck empty. And then I'll go through all this stuff again at a later time and sort out what's good, what's bad, what goes to this car, what doesn't. and then you know, we'll go from there. Anything that's not good as the car, and that is good, obviously we'll end up in our eBay store. I will have a link to that in the description of this video. So let me pause this so I can climb up in the truck. Alright, so got these out, got them slid back a little bit and where I can get to them now. And this one is a 525. That would be this transmission here. So this transmission will go with that engine, and that's for the Daytona. That's the original transmission style. Now you can upgrade to the 555. That's probably why he had this, was he was going to upgrade his transmission. That's a normal modification, and I guess I could leave that up to the buyer if somebody comes along and wants to buy the car as a project, or if we put the engine and transmission back in and try to get it running, then it's going to get the 525, so we can sell this, and they can. There's nothing wrong with these transmissions. A lot of guys like to go with this one because this is a heavier duty transmission, has better internals, and some other upgrades over this. But this was what it came with new. They're fine, honestly, if you don't beat on them. You know, when you start pumping a bunch of boost into these engines and you start slamming gears and all of that, that's when you start to have problems with these. So for a stock car that's being driven normally, and not highly modified with boost and all of this, this is going to be fine. There's nothing wrong with this transmissions. I've had several, and I've never had a bad one. Well, I take it back. I had a bad one years and years ago. My ex-wife and I, we had bought a Dodge Lancer, and it was a turbo 5-speed, and the transmission was cracked, like broke in half. So we ended up changing the transmission and whatnot, and went on about life. So I have seen one bad one in all my years. So a lot of times what happens is the cables go bad, or in an L body, the rods, because they don't have cables, they have rods, the plastic cups go bad and they pop off, and then you have an issue. Or they just pop off in general. It may not even be bad, they just pop off. Strain, stress, and whatnot. So anyways, I'm going to quit boring you to death. I've got a mess now I got to clean up so I can get my wife's car back in the garage. Again, it's supposed to pour down rain tomorrow, so it may sit outside tomorrow. Well, it depends. So I appreciate you following along, and if you see anything you're interested in, let me know. If you're interested in the entire car, let me know. I would definitely like to, I would rather save it than part it. We do have the 85, like I said, that has all the parts that may be missing from the red one. So, because it's a complete car as of today. It's next on the list. That's my plan this week. It's supposed to warm up a little bit for at least 3 or 4 days. My plan is to try to get the starter put in it, see if I can get it to run, and then go from there. And that may be what we do if I can get the engine in at 85 running and it sounds good. Since this one doesn't have a turbo and all of that, I may just pull the 85 engine and drop it right in this turbo car or T-top car, including the transmission and everything, and just let it go at that, and then try to find a home for this engine. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First, we got to see if the 85 even runs. So right now the starter just clicks. So I've got to change the starter, and that's a bear. So that's my plan this week, is to get that done and see what happens. So anyway, like, follow, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. If you know of any of these cars, we're always hunting. We're always buying cars, or we'll buy parts. As you see in our older videos, we drove to Georgia for parts. We've been to Michigan for parts. Just parts, not cars. No cars involved in those 2 trips. So we've been to New York for chasing parts. So, you know, we will travel within reason as long as it's worth our time. So that's it. We'll catch you on the next one.